Hello. Please excuse the way I look today. I have looked better. But, when your health's a bit precarious, you sort of think some things at times, don't you? Sort of prioritise things a bit. And I was thinking, what's the most important thing I could say to anybody? If I had to sum up the most important thing, what would it be? And I was thinking, would it be to talk about love? Because obviously love is paramount. But then, everybody has, unfortunately, different ideas of what they mean by that. But I thought, no, actually, the most important thing I would talk about is truth and the need for a sincere search for truth. And I was thinking, oh gosh, this is a big philosophical question. How could I just do a quick share on it? Well, I'm just going to throw some ideas out in the hope that I might whet your appetite for the search. Anyway, when you think about when Jesus was before Pilate, Pilate was said to him, what are you about, sort of thing. And Jesus said, I came to bear witness to the truth. And Pilate said, truth? What is truth? He said it sincerely, I think. And I think really that's what most people would say today. What is truth? And then I thought, well, people think about when if you in the old court, I don't know whether they do it now, but you'd have to swear, wouldn't you, to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So that's what people might think. It's not leaving things out, it's not picking and choosing odd bits, and you know how we can manipulate truth. So when Jesus said it, he came to bear witness to the truth. He meant the whole truth and nothing but the truth, surely. And it's two aspects of what he meant by that I want to just throw out today. And they're not popular. And I think, well, really, I should have said this before, but we all balk at saying things that are going to maybe put people out. But quite honestly, when I've been in a mess in my life, if a kind and loving friend, hadn't have spoke the truth to me, even though I didn't particularly want it at the time, and I might have resented it a bit, I've been jolly glad of it since. That's happened a few times, actually, on my journey, because I've had a journey, as you might see through my other YouTube shares. So I want to be that friend and to say this about the truth. First of all, in terms of morality, I did mention on one of my other shares about a serious misunderstanding that as Christians and certainly as Catholics, we're called to avoid certain actions in order to live a higher form of love, you see, and to try to avoid it. And that obviously we're weak and we fall, and that's why we have, in our faith, we have confession, because we know we need God's forgiveness all the time, his help, and he's so willing to help us. All we have to do is just to turn to him and to sort of desire, I wish I hadn't done that, or please, I'd like to do better. We might even think we won't, but it's that effort to try. But to be on that road of trying, we have to first of all have figured out what is truth, as far as our own conscience is formed. And I think everybody deep down in themselves has an idea of what's good and right and what isn't. But, we can sort of quell it out with society's fashions and what we'd like, because obviously we'd like things to be okay. And we even lived that way for a while, but unfortunately deep down we know they're not okay. And usually, well, I think always they collapse in the end. So when I think about moral truth, I think, I think about what Jesus taught and the things he said, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I thought, well, okay, I've got to take the whole lot. I can't pick and choose. I'll have this bit and not that bit. And neither do I think I can say, well, I think he actually probably meant this or he meant that. Because he was so clear in what he taught, wasn't he? Even children can understand him. Even somebody without any education can understand him. He was never obscure. I mean, some huge things he told in parables, so that it was only through prayer you'd understand more and guidance. But, on the whole, on things that matter, he was just straightforward. So I think about what he said, and I think about today in our different Christian faiths and different Christians and even different Catholics. We think, well, it's too hard. It's just too hard. Let's tweak it a bit. Let's have a compromise, because if it's now, it's not 2,000 years ago. It's now. But you see, if truth is truth, it can't change, can it? Otherwise it wouldn't have been true in the beginning. And other people can say, well, that might be true for you and it's not true for me. But how could it be truth then if it had different shape? If it was different with loads of different people, it wouldn't be what they call objective, would it? It wouldn't exist of itself. What Christ has given us is something that exists of itself objectively. And we have to look at that. We have to look at it, even if we don't like it at first. There were lots of things I didn't like about it when I first became a Catholic and on my journey. I had to swallow something and thought, I'm not sure about that, or I couldn't do that, or whatever. But, I do believe him. I believe he was the Son of God, and I believe what he said is true. So I've got to think about this. I've got to, gradually over time, try and incorporate it, my life into it. And with his help, of course. So we can think of that, and we can think that the things that he's asked us to live like seem impossible, and that's why we're compromising a lot these days, I think. But to be honest, that is not the answer. It really isn't the answer to true freedom, because he said the truth will set you free, and true joy. The easy way out is not the answer. I only can say this because I've struggled in my life, obviously, with it, and lived with compromises. And actually, it's not easy to live with a compromise. But I have done it, and I know that it didn't set me free. I know it caused a lot of problems. So, within me, I mean. So, we've got to think about if it's too hard for me, this truth, it might be in a relationship or in any sort of moral area. If this is too hard for me to live, the answer is not to tweak the truth or go and find somebody who will tell me what I want to hear. The answer is to say to the Lord, Lord, this is so hard. It's too hard for me. I can't do this. But if you said it, please will you help me bit by bit to be able to do it, to be able to really understand it, to want it, and to try to move towards it with your help, knowing how compassionate and patient you are. You don't expect us to be there overnight, but to begin this road of trying day by day, bit by bit, to live a bit more in the truth. And sometimes it involves a very hard decision in the first place. There used to be an expression, avoid the occasions of temptation, which of course they'd say is old-fashioned these days. But I mean, the point is, if you're an alcoholic and you're going in a pub every day, it's crazy, isn't it? Really, you're not being fair to yourself, are you? You're not being fair to yourself. So there might be some big decisions we have to make, and it'll hurt. Anything of value